Hey friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin. Today we're going to go out in the garden and we are going to do some harvesting. But before we do that, I have to share a sad update. Um, Yesterday, I lost my sweet bunny Hyacinth. Um, I got her, if you have been on my channel for a little bit, I got her in April. She was about 8 weeks old. And so I lost her yesterday. She was only about 6 months old total. And I am very upset about it. So if you are new to my channel, I had a bunny that I won in a game of Uno. She was a meat bunny. I had her for 2.5 years. Um, and she died. We didn't know how old she was when I got her. And when she died, I think I'm estimating like she had cancer. Um, and with her, I got her when she was an adult, so she wasn't handled. She would let me pet her. She never liked being picked up. Um, but I was able to pet her. She knew me. She tolerated me as best a meat bunny who had never really been handled her whole life could. She came every time I went down to her. She wanted her nose pets, and so when I lost her, that was devastating. But I I felt like I had given her a life. She was a meat bunny. She was not going to have a life, and I gave her a life. She got to run around my garden. She got to eat delicious food. I fed her all the best quality food, good food, all the treats, everything. So when she passed away, I felt like I had given her a life um, that she otherwise wouldn't have had. With Hyacinth, I feel like a murderer, and Hyacinth was 6 months old. Um, and I feel like I caused Hyacinth's death, and people around me are telling me like I didn't, but I don't believe them. I think with Hyacinth, I think she had a blockage, and um, I did everything that I could think to do, and it wasn't enough. Um, I'm beating myself up because I gave her lots of treats. I gave her kale. Kale can cause 100% a blockage, or bloating that can lead to a blockage. I gave her kale. Um, I did tons of research. At this point, I think I know more about bunnies than anybody else does. I spent hours doing research trying to figure out what was going on. Um, I saw that this, what's called GI status, could have been caused by stress. Um, and I know right around when this started, we had a massive thunderstorm, and it was the loudest thunderstorm of my entire life. I love thunderstorms. I think they're great. And this one was one where I'm like, I'm kind of a little scared because the thunder was the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my entire life. And so I saw other posts that said, or the articles that said things like thunderstorms can scare a rabbit, and then we don't know why, but it puts them into GI status. So I don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was an outside factor. They say GI status can be like underlying medical conditions. Um, she was 6 months old and I failed. So when she went down, I did everything I could. I was syringe feeding her. I had critical care. I was trying to find these gas drops that I couldn't find anywhere. I had a contact that has 10 bunnies of her own, and she was telling me what to do. And she's like, they just go down sometimes, and sometimes you can save them, and sometimes you can't. And I did everything that she told me to do, and it wasn't enough. Um, and around here, I don't know about where you might live, but around here, bunnies don't typically get seen by a normal vet. They are considered like an exotic animal, which makes no sense to me. Um, and my friend confirmed that vets around here don't know what to do with bunnies. So I could have taken her in, and I could have spent the money on the blood work and the X-rays, and she still would have died. They said they don't know how to handle bunnies. You need a specialist, and then you're paying specialist fees. And to be completely honest, um, I started noticing stuff a couple days before, and so I ended up thinking it was the heat. I went through the gamut of what could this be, and I brought her inside, and Saturday and Sunday especially, I saw improvement in her. I went to bed each night thinking, okay, she's getting better. She's on the mend. We've crossed the hurdle. And then I came home from work on Monday, and she had times where she was like peppy and perky, and the other times where she would just lay there and I'm like, you kind of look like you're dead. And then she just progressed Monday night and she passed Tuesday morning. I was with her when she passed. So I know I did everything that I could have done. I know that really vets around here for rabbits aren't really an option. I did everything I could do, and sometimes bunnies just die. And I really struggle with the fact like I want a farm. That's the whole reason I'm doing this channel, is because one day I want to have the farm. So once I got the gardening down, I know what I'm doing with the garden. I want to progress to animals. And there's a saying that where there's livestock, there's dead stock. And I've just been running that through my mind the past 24 hours. Like, you did everything you could, and sometimes they just die. And I'm not a fan of that saying. I know I can't do anything about it. I know we have all, if you've ever had an animal, you've experienced a loss, and sometimes you just can fight as hard as you can, and they still die. And so I'm really upset. So, I'm gonna end the crying portion of the video now. I hope to get a bunny again soon. I'm not ready for one today, but I also know that unless I want to wait till next spring to get a rabbit, I need to get one sooner rather than later so it can acclimate outside, and because ideally it would last the winter outside. I was bringing Hyacinth in every single day regardless of the heat, and then when it was really hot I was bringing her inside, and she was able to run around the house, and the animals were good with her and she was good with them. So it's definitely like my plan moving forward, but I would still like it to largely be an outside rabbit rather than a full-time inside rabbit. So I hope to get another rabbit again. I keep asking everyone in my life, am I a murderer? And they all tell me no, but I feel like I might be. And then I'm like, am I dumb for getting another rabbit when I couldn't save this one? And so we'll see what happens. So enough of the crying portion. We are going to go out into the garden and see what's going on in the garden. Because of Hyacinth, I've been the past couple like 4 or 5 days just like really staying in here with her. And then too, it has been stupidly hot in the mid 90s. The mosquitoes are terrible. I might enter the garden, mosquitoes and the plants, and it all says no, get out. So I think I have green beans coming in, the first round of green beans. I think I have some of them coming in. So let's go to the garden and we're going to see what we have coming in. I put on some jeans. Ooh, you can really see. Sorry, Monty, I just pushed Monroe around. I put on some jeans because I do not want to get bitten up. I went out there yesterday. So Hyacinth died first thing in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. And so I spent the whole day with my parents, and I went out in the garden in the evening to cheer myself up to you love the garden. I was in the garden for 20 seconds. I looked down, I had probably 10 mosquitoes on both my legs, not even exaggerating. I was like, okay, we're going back inside. So I have jeans on. They typically leave my arms alone. It's really largely just the legs that they go for. So let's go see what we can find in the garden. It is so stinking hot out here. I do not enjoy having jeans on, but as soon as we're done, we're going to go get a shower, and then we can put on a short and tank tops again. It's supposed to get cool. Tomorrow, and then this weekend, low 80s. I'm like, bring it on. So before we go in the garden, I wanted to show you what we have going on. So the one thing I did yesterday in my walk, I found zucchini, and I'm like, I have to harvest this zucchini. I can't let it go another day. How big is this? I don't know if this is the biggest zucchini I've ever grown, but we had that one. We had that one. It's not terribly big. A normal size, still on the larger side. That one. That one. We have some massive zucchini, and so that's just what I harvested yesterday. My zucchini plants are still obviously doing well in producing. And I still have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zucchinis. This fridge at this point is largely just holding zucchini. So I need to figure out some more preservation recipes. I've been eating zucchini almost with every meal, and it's still coming in. So we might do some other things. I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday, and her husband made zucchini tater tots for their dinner. And so I was talking to her. He had walked away, I think, to make like a sauce or something to go with them. And while I was talking to her, she's just plowing them in. They were that good. So when he comes back, she's eaten almost all of these zucchini tater tots. So apparently they're very good. So we might make them with some of that zucchini later. This garden is insane. So let's pick up our basket. Let me show you. She's a work of art. Let me tell you what. I mean, look at that. We have massive zucchinis. Not zucchinis, sunflowers. They must be what, 11, 12 feet tall? And I love my grasses. I think my grasses look great. I have another one down there. I have some trees. We got some trees I got to cut right there. I got to cut them down. But she's looking wild and gorgeous. So I definitely need to do a lot of trimming. I haven't trimmed anything in probably 2 weeks. Let me prop you up here. And we are going to harvest zucchini. So look at this. I keep saying everything is a zucchini right now. We're going to harvest our first batch of green beans. So can you see all of these? You can't really see. If we come up, look at all of the green beans. So I am so excited to be in green beans. My girlfriend Allison, the one that made the zucchini tots, she has been in green beans for a while. I think she did bush and Vining. I think both have been coming in for her. But for me, I just did the Vining. I think next year I'll do the bush and the Vining because the bush green beans put off green beans faster. But these give me a lot. So these are just starting to come in. So I'm going to take everything that I can get. My green bean preservation, we do a little bit of everything. I can green beans and I freeze green beans. I think I have a few bags of green beans in the freezer, but they're store-bought green beans, so not the same thing. Let me pull this up. Oh Lord, this is too tall. I think it was last winter. No, I guess it was 2 winters ago. 2 winters ago, I keep all of my vegetables in like reusable grocery bags. And I was like organizing the freezer and I got the bag of green beans out and never put them back in. So all my green beans went bad. So typically what I do, especially if I have a bad year, I preserve enough for 2 years so that if I have a bad year or something happens, I have green beans where I had that vegetable for the next year. Well, so I let the green beans fall and mold. Like I didn't realize it until they were moldy. So I didn't have any green beans. So last year I tried to grow green beans and they got such a late start. I don't know what happened. They got such a late start and they didn't start producing for me until probably like August. And then by the time they produced, they didn't produce much. So I wasn't able to put too much back. So I did have to supplement with some market green beans. So I don't have too much back. I think I only have 1 canned jar of green beans. So I'm hoping that this gives us enough to put up what we need for at least the year, if not like a year and a half. So this is the start. I see a ton of babies, a ton of small ones. I see a ton of flowers. So for my first green bean harvest, we got a nice little handful. Because I have a ton of zucchini, I'm probably honestly not going to eat these. I probably would just put these right in the freezer. And then once your green beans start coming in, you got to take them like every day. You'll come out here and I'll pick them all right now, and then in 24 hours, it'll be loaded with more. And then it's so fun. So I love harvesting potatoes because potatoes are like a treasure hunt. But then green beans are fun too because that's a little small. Let's get bigger. Because they're green and they blend in with the plant, and you'll look and you'll be like, okay, I got everything off. And then you'll look somewhere else and find more. So it's a fun treasure hunt. Okay. Let's keep going down the tomato row because I know I have tomatoes to pick. I harvested my very first Cherokee Purple tomato a couple days ago, but I haven't eaten it yet. I want to do, my favorite thing to do with Cherokee Purple tomatoes is to make some brown butter and toss them in brown butter with some salt. And I'm dying to do that. Just with Hyacinth. Hyacinth was this whole weekend, and I was just a ball of nerves and angst and worry that I didn't do much. I sat and I worried and I obsessed, and so I didn't eat. So I'm looking forward to when I'm in the mood. I'm not in the mood still. I'm still like upset. When I'm in the mood, I'm looking forward to some delicious Cherokee Purple tomatoes. So it's July 30th, so at the end of July, and these are the first tomatoes I've picked. I've picked one previous ripe one. I picked 3 ripe Romas. They're on the counter now that I saw the other day. But our tomato season is slow this year. I don't know why it's slow. I have a theory that we got so hot in June. We had like a week. I think most of the country, honestly, was in a massive heat wave. Oh, okay. Here we have some damage. But we're just gonna cut around it. It looks like someone sliced it off. Not even animal. Maybe an animal. Yeah, maybe an animal. But we'll just cut around that. And maybe not. There's a couple other bruises. Okay. We're just gonna get rid of this one. There's a couple of bruises. What was I saying? Oh, so it got so hot. What I think happened is the tomatoes. Oh, and this one. Oh, I've had tomatoes here for a while. These tomatoes are gone. I don't know what happened there. I must have missed them. They must have been ready and I didn't see them. So let's, I guess, maybe do a more thorough check. So I'm thinking they set tomatoes, and due to the heat, when it gets above 90, tomatoes drop their blossoms. And so I'm thinking that's what happened. It got so hot that the tomatoes dropped their blossoms, and then they had to reset their blossoms. And that is why I'm just now harvesting tomatoes. And I was really nervous that I wasn't getting as many tomatoes as I expected to get. But, oh gosh. But I think I've been seeing them set more and more. So I see a lot of babies on there. So I'm hoping that we still get a good amount of big tomatoes. One thing we have no problem getting is the grape tomatoes. Trying to get that come out of the pepper bed. Oops. Grape tomatoes are doing wonderful things. I have been picking these. And the funny thing is I got these for My dad, partly, who doesn't want any right now. But I got these for caprese salads, and I'm not even in the mood for a caprese salad. I had one, and it was good. It was, I guess I'm just not in the mood for it, and so it didn't really make me that happy. And so I'm just telling myself, Caitlin, get in the mood. Because you only get caprese salads for like 2 more months. And normally, they're one of my favorite things. I anxiously wait for caprese salads. Oops, don't fall. So hopefully, my brain decides to get on board and we start having a hankering, for caprese salads. These tomatoes are just falling off of the vine. They're so prolific. Whoa. And this guy behind me is our artichoke. He's officially taller than me. So far, no artichokes, no flowers. So I don't really know what's happening with him. I don't know if that's a 2-year plant or what. So we'll get what we get. Oops. Keep knocking over my little meerkat. We got some lunchbox peppers coming soon. We have reached the part of the garden where there is no path. Oh great, here's another zucchini. We reached the part of the garden where it is just absolute chaos. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but here we have mini, can you see that, mini pumpkins? I have a whole bunch of them. They're all orange and ready to be, oops, someone made a mess. They're all orange and ready to be picked. I'm like, can you just wait? I'm not ready for you yet. I have one kohlrabi here, my last kohlrabi, then I'm like, get a little bit bigger. But I could honestly pick him any day. Once you pick kohlrabi, they start shriveling up very quickly, and I'm not ready to work with him yet, so I'm gonna leave him in the ground. In here I have my potatoes. They're not putting anything off yet, so we'll leave them for now. These are sweet potatoes coming this way. I have a butternut squash. Where was it? I have a butternut squash coming, oh, right here. Hold on. You see that right there? Right here is a butternut squash. I have watermelon and zucchini. Like, there is a little house back there for a cat. And you can't see it. A couple of weeds for sure, but there's tomato, there's squash, there's pumpkin. Back there on the fence is butternut squash. You come in here, peek the little bits of orange for the pumpkin. Here's a watermelon. Here's something. I don't know what it is, and it's going out there. We got everything going out there. Like, we definitely have grasses, but we also have a ton of plants. And I can't really get back here, so the grasses are growing. In here, so this area was cauliflower. It's barely doing anything. I have a cabbage there. Really kind of messy back here. Not getting too much done, but then look at that. This was a fun surprise I made about a week ago. I'm glad I did this chair so I could sit in it. I can barely get to it. But look at our pumpkin. Look at this beautiful pumpkin. Look, he is ready too. He greened up in the last week. So I'm going to try to roll him a little bit. You want to kind of roll them so they don't stay on the same side, because then they get a flat side. Like, this is one large pumpkin. So far he's only giving me one pumpkin, but I'll take the pumpkin that I can get. And then you have to fight through the weeds. You have to fight the weeds to get over here to these orange tomatoes. You must really want them to get over here. And I try not to come over here too often, because definitely coming over here, I'm stepping on stuff. I'm stepping on vines right now. I'm breaking stuff. Oops. So I come over when I have a good amount of stuff I can pick. And then there's also something over here. I'm gonna hope it's a cat. As wild as this garden is, and there's not a ton of weeds. Like, there's of course a little bit of weeds, but especially because I can't get in here right now with all the squash plants, I can't pull the weeds. And again, as hot as it's been, and then I got diagnosed this year with environmental asthma. And so we're still trying to figure out like the logistics of it. When there's an air quality alert, when the air quality is poor, I have asthma. I thought it was also when it was hot, but it's 94 and I'm fine. Like, I can breathe fine. So that's kind of been something I've been dealing with this summer too. It's been really bad. Like, for the fact that I went to the doctor, and I went to the doctor for the first time in 10 years, says how bad it was. So that's also been a reason why I couldn't be out here. We have had a lot of air quality issues this year. So that's another reason why. And you know what? I always reclaim this entire space. I'm going to take you over and show you a space that is so much worse than this. I will say I am very pleased with this garden. While I see grasses growing, I see more intended plants than I do grasses. And it's almost August. The weather, we went into this summer with, like, I don't know how droughts work, but in a large drought, we have got so much rain this year, we're out of the drought. Which is great. That's fantastic. And tomorrow we're supposed to get 2 to 3 inches more of rain just tomorrow. And it's supposed to rain for the next couple days. So we're getting a ton of rain. We're out of the drought. It's fantastic. But between all the rain we get and the heat that we have had, the weeds have they're just loving life. And I'm not gonna whine and complain. Other things we have over here, we have cantaloupe and we have watermelon. So let me show you what I can show you. So my watermelon over here is so far doing nothing. Let me take a quick scan. It flowers. I have no watermelon. Now I was told that there are some watermelon that need 2. I got one that was marked that it didn't need 2. It said in flowers, but so far it hasn't said any fruit. So I don't know if it was mismarked or what's going on. So we'll see. But this is my cantaloupe growing up over this arch. I also have a lilac, not a lilac, a wisteria that I transplanted from my mom. Whew. That is down there and that is surviving. But here I have a little cantaloupe. So I have a couple of cantaloupe coming. Oh, look right here. I didn't even see these. Look at these. growing in the basket. Oh, how great. I didn't even see those. Oh, what fun. What fun. So, I don't even know. There's another canal that goes back that way. I have no idea what's back there. Should we go see together? Okay. Is there anything back here? Oh. I assume when it gets like white and it's like a ball, I'll see it. That is my hope. So far, nothing. Let's see if we can go back in that mess and check on the corn. I picked this corn yesterday and I had it for my lunch today and it was delicious. Oh, look. Here, one of my sunflowers fell down. We got a couple on there. I didn't bring any scissors. Shoot. Okay. And then this is how you get volunteer sunflowers. You leave their heads. The birds eat them. They drop their seed. And oh, look how pretty. And they drop their seed and surprise, surprise, volunteer sunflowers. So all of these big ones, these massive ones, all of these sunflowers. Look at this guy. He's huge. Wait. This guy. That scared me. Massive. Another massive one. Back there. Another massive one. And then that guy. This is the biggest one I see right now. So I'm gonna take this one. And we're just eating them fresh. Oh, hello. I don't grow enough. I should have bought a fork or a scissors. Look how pretty. I don't grow enough to oops, broke that one. I just broke the little. Oh, I don't grow enough corn to put up my own corn. My mom and I put up our year's worth of corn on Saturday. We got 5 dozen or 10 dozen. We put them up on Saturday, so that'll be good. These are my Abe Lincoln tomatoes. I've never had Abe Lincolns. They're a little on the small side, but I want to try them specifically to see if I like them. I'm really trying to hone in my tomatoes. So Purple Cherokee, 100% love them. I also really, really like, supposed to be, now I'm blanking. I do Cherokee, Roma, Paul Robeson. I forget. I'll put the name here. I'll remember it. But I really like them. I do a red and a white one of them, or red and yellow. They have potato leaves. I'm blanking on the name of these tomatoes. But I really like them. And so when it comes to Paul Robeson and Bread and Salt and the Abe Lincoln, I want to see which of them. I want to do a taste test of all three to see which one has the best flavor. And which one I like the best. I kind of narrow it down. So I don't have. I love doing tomato, like all these different tomato varieties, but I just don't have enough room. In case you can't tell. And I got new hyacinths, water hyacinths, or I guess, yeah, they're water hyacinths or water lilies, and they're blooming. Isn't that so pretty? I just filled this up yesterday. The birds have been using it. Every time I come out here, there's a bird in it. So hopefully tomorrow helps fill it up a little bit, and then I need to fill it back up too. Look at that. And this is the last part I want to show you. This is the strawberries. And this needs so much work. I'm going over here because I don't even see the netting. Yeah, the netting is here. I don't even see my strawberries in there. So like, look at this. Wildly needs cleaned up. And then back there, where the bunny hutch typically is, oh my god, it's so freaking tall. I don't even know what I'm stepping on. But like, oh, there are logs in here. There's all kinds of stuff. But like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. So I see my Sharpie plants, and they're actually doing, the plants themselves look good, but this is going to be, at this point, all of this is going to get just weed whacked to start fresh, because it's taller than me. Goodness. Okay, I'm getting really hot, so we're going to wrap this up. The only other thing that we didn't talk about is our beets down here. They're still maybe bulbing up. We'll see if we get anything from them. And then my Brussels sprouts there in the back. See if I get anything there. Fingers crossed I do. We'll have to see. But this garden is something. Now, aside from this area, which the weeds have just absolutely taken over and annihilated, I don't feel like it's that bad in here. I was talking to a friend this weekend, and he even said, you have so much stuff packed into a small space. Like, you honestly don't have that many weeds, but you have so much stuff packed into such a small space, which I 100% do. I need to have a real come to Jesus moment if I want to continue to do this kind of gardening next year, or if I want to go more aesthetic. This is how I live. This is how I eat. I grow all of my own food, and I find ways to preserve it, and this is how I eat. So I don't honestly think I'm going to change, but I do like the idea of having an aesthetic garden, a garden that even in August looks pretty. And she's pretty in her own way, 100%. You can look, and I see a couple of tall grasses. I see a little bit of thistle, in this main half of the garden. But I see so much food. That's really, really largely what I see. So let's go inside and see what we got. I immediately went and changed out of my clothes because I'm so stinking sweaty. So we're gonna show you what I got, and then I'm gonna go get a shower. I was not gonna show you my haul in those jeans. It wasn't happening. So tomorrow they're calling for a lot of rain. We'll see if we get it. Lately they've been calling for a lot of stuff, and it has skirted my house completely. So we'll see if we get it, and if we do, oh, I got an earwig. Hold on. Earwig is gone. So if we have a rain day tomorrow, I'll bring you guys along. I'll probably bring you guys along anyway. And we will process this stuff. I already have a bowl of cherry tomatoes that I picked the other day. Some are starting to go rotten. So what I think I'm going to do with them, because I'm not really feeling like a pricey salad, is I'm just going to get a couple bags in the freezer. Seeing here are the aromas that I picked the other day. I just have 3. So bring you guys along. I'm just going to throw these in the freezer until we have enough to do anything with. The cherry tomatoes I am also liking as you freeze them and then you get them out and get boursin cheese and make a fresh pasta sauce in the middle of winter. So I really like doing that. So we're gonna do that with some of our tomatoes. I probably put 3, maybe 4 bags, and then we can put the rest in the freezer. And when we have enough tomatoes, we can make tomato sauce or our tomato products. I need spaghetti sauce, and I think that might be all I need, spaghetti sauce. So we'll throw out, and I need salsa. I need salsa every year. So this is a huge counter's worth of goodies. Get my flowers out of there. This is the butternut squash I picked the other day. It's kind of like I saw it and I wanted to see if it was done, and it came off the vine. So I'm like, okay, well I guess you're done. Okay. that is a counter of food. I mean, that is amazing. These zinnias are so pretty. I'm loving these. Look how great they are. This is a counter full of food, so I am excited. It looks like we're a little bit later than normal. However, it looks like our summer garden is really starting to come in. So I've been taking it easy the past couple of, I guess, weeks, months. Doing a little bit here, doing a little bit there, but it looks like we are in full-fledged, get into preservation mode. Caitlin, you got a lot to do. Almost 2.5 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, we made our sauerkraut together. I just tasted that today. I'm gonna get that canned up this weekend. And then I have 3 more cabbages that I bought because my cabbages, I think, died, or they didn't die, but they're not producing salad heads. So we have another batch of sauerkraut we're gonna make. So I'm gonna get this batch canned up and do 3 more big heads of cabbage. Get that going this weekend. I have potatoes I still need to can. And then the tomatoes are starting to roll in. So at this point, we're gonna start freezing the tomatoes, and we'll wait until we have a nice amount to process down. We picked 2 more zucchinis, so we still have a ton of more things we need to do with zucchinis. And then the cherry tomatoes are really coming in, so we have to figure out what we're going to do with all of them. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm sorry that this video got off to a sad start, but I wanted to share because you won't see her anymore, and that's sad. But thank you guys if you stuck around and you didn't leave in the beginning. Thank you guys so much for being there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.